Ugh, this thing is bugging out. There we go. All right. Let's see if this question got answered. Try working backwards. What is even the question? If x equals whatever a okay. All right, you guys know the drill. If you're watching, let me know in the chat room so I know what's up. Let's go to my channel. I put the chat room in my phone. Okay, we're live. Let me know in the chat room. Oh, the sound of my own voice is excruciating. Okay, here we go. So we got no people in the chat room, which is what I expected. Let's see if we can get some good questions here. I'm not doing any differential equations. 7th grade math. I like the easy stuff. All right, the map above is being reduced by a scale factor of 1/3 and printed. Oh, hey, what's up? Is that me? The map of printed at the subway station. How many square inches will the new map take up? All right. So when you scale by a factor, so I would think that it would work the other way. So if you're scaling down, right, you're scaling down by a factor of 3, that would be 1/3. That's how I would think of this. Oh, some people already tried to answer. Maybe this is the auto moderator. That's the auto mod. Auto mod. When using scale factor, simply multiply the density. Okay. So this person interpreted it the other way, and just like judging by the way, you would never write a question and scale by a factor of 1/3 down, meaning that it was supposed to increase. But that's actually how I think about it. So if I scale down, I divide by 3. So I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking too much into the English part of this. What are we scaling? Yeah. So this person really answered it. Let me post a. Actually, no, I don't want to do this. It's too easy. I don't understand how to do this question. Okay, let's see what we got here. My internet is so slow when I stream. It's out of control. I'm surprised that the stream quality remains high enough to deal with. Allie is playing basketball. She takes a shot when she is 24 feet away from the basket. When the ball is 4 feet away from her, it has a height of 10 feet above the floor. The ball reaches its greatest height of 18 feet above the floor when it is 12 feet away from her. Find the value of A. So I think that there's some kind of a graph there, or like a picture there, and because I can't see the context, I can't do this, right? So if you guys are, Allie is playing basketball. She takes a shot when she was 24 feet away from the basket, okay? And the ball's 4 feet away from her. It has a height of 10 feet above the floor. The ball reaches its greatest height of 18 feet above the floor when it is 12 feet away from her, okay? Find the value of A. I really don't know what A is. There's no context for this. So, y'all, if you're posting questions, I need all of the context, all right? I'm like chastising people who are not here. Let's go refresh. See, the problem is people answer these so quickly. I guess that's not a problem. That's a good thing. We like that. But I also want to help answer homework questions, and I'm usually struggling to get to the question before someone else does. Okay, Calc 1. Let's see. This might be fun. What are the units of f prime of x? Because it's the derivative, I want to say the unit of 5 is time in minutes. But I can't figure out what the unit -3 would be, unless I'm wrong on 5 too. Okay. The time for chemical reaction T in minutes is a function of the amount of catalyst present. So this is interesting. Actually, the time is a function of the catalyst, A, in millimeters. So T equals F of A. So time is equal to a function of the amount of catalyst. So if F of 5 equals 18, what are the units of 5? Well, the units of 5 is the amount of catalyst in milliliters. So this question is really good, actually. Well, it's actually really not good, but if you understand function notation, this will make it readily apparent. So maybe it's good for like a teacher to tell that about you. Okay. Let's let this Redditor. Ooh, I can't say that. Let this Redditor know that I am working on their problem. Okay, so we have commented, and hopefully some people will come in our live stream. So I'm going to put this image that I just screenshotted. Hopefully nothing embarrassing pops up on my screen here. Oh, goodness gracious. Screenshot. There he is. Okay. And let's put this up to the corner. Should I wait for this person? Or should I just go? I'm just going to go. They'll come later. All right, if you solve it, they will come. The time for chemical reaction T in minutes. So T is measured in minutes. T is in minutes. And the amount of reactant A is in milliliters. Milliliters? What is it? Milliliters. I. All right, so let's imagine we have a graph, okay? It says that the time is a function of the amount of catalyst. So the amount of catalyst is the independent variable. If it's a function of that thing, that's the independent thing, okay? So then the time is the dependent variable, okay? Time is a function of catalyst in this case. So when we think about, let's just use a linear model here. We've got a line. When we think about the slope of this line, it's the change in y over the change in x, okay? So the question says here, f of 5 equals 18. That's not important to you, right? The only thing is, what are the units of 5? Well, we can see here that a goes here, okay? So 5 is a value for a, all right? So it should take on the units of measure for a. And in this case, the units of measure for A are milliliters. That says that right here. Okay, so A is in milliliters. So you just need to look and notice that I have a function named f, okay? Here's the argument of the functions, the bit in parentheses. That's the A. The A is measured in milliliters, and 5 goes in the argument's place, so that also must be measured in milliliters. All right, so part A, I know there's a lot of A's flying around here. 5 milliliters is the unit, okay? What are the units of 18? Well, so f of A equals T, right? We see that here, so f of A must equal T. So 18 is the same as T, and we're told that T is measured in minutes, so that's 8 minutes. Okay, and then what does the statement tell us about the reaction? Well, it says if we have 5 milliliters of catalyst present, our reaction takes 18 minutes. So let's write a sentence. When we have 5 milliliters of reactant present, the reaction takes 18 minutes. Now, what do reactants and reactions mean? Well, that's a whole separate thing, right? You should take some chemistry, or you might talk about that in biology a little bit, and learn what those things mean. Okay, so here's the meaty stuff. This is the calculus-y part of the problem, part B. So if f prime of 5, okay, so this is the slope at the same point here when we the rate of change of this function when we have 5 milliliters of reactant is equal to -3. What are the units of 5? So back to that little graph that I put up here. So f prime, it gives us the slope of this function. I drew a line. I don't know that our function is a line. But we know that t is the dependent variable and a is the independent variable. Okay. So the slope of this line would be the change in t over the change in a, rise over run, right? This is our notion of slope for a line, and it's a really good start. We combine this with a limit and we get the derivative, okay? So we can use this ratio to help us think about what the slope is in terms of units, okay? So t is measured in minutes, and then our a is measured in milliliters. So this is minutes per milliliter is the unit of f prime, okay? So, that's of the -3. I'm sorry, I'm get a little ahead of myself. So -3 minutes per milliliter. Since this is f prime of a, 5 is still a, right? So 5 minutes, okay? Or I'm sorry, it's a function of milliliters. Okay, so this is part B. -3 is measured in minutes per milliliter because it's the slope of the curve there. And then 5 milliliters is the same thing, all right? So I know I'm going to run into space with that picture-in-picture. I don't know how much my face actually adds to this. Maybe I'm funny or something. I don't know. What does this statement tell us? So this says that when 5 milliliters are present, so this is 5 milliliters of reactant, right? And wow, I just can't spell. Present in the reaction. The rate of change of time per or is it catalyst? Catalyst. I said reactant, but I meant catalyst the whole time. Is -3 minutes per milliliter. Okay. So this here should say catalyst. Okay. So person who is in here in the chat, I hope this is your question. If it is your question, would you please let me know whether or not everything is understood? Because that's going to be important to me so I can know whether or not I should stop. But this is the answer, and if that is you, please like, subscribe, comment, do all of those things. It helps people notice my channel. When I don't know what will come of that, I need like a cajillion watch hours before I could ever make money off of this, so I'm doing it for free at the time being. Also, I have a subreddit now. Check my post history and go there and ask your questions directly there. It'll go straight to me, and I won't have to race everyone to the question. Okay, here we go. So we'll consider that one done. hit the refresh again. Get the newest hot questions, hot off the press. All right, I like geometry. I don't like parallelograms. I don't like partial fraction decomposition. I don't even like the term. Okay, algebra is fun. Ooh, this textbook. Okay. What am I looking at here? Study the example showing how to solve two-step problem. All right. I don't even know what a two-step problem means. I'm just going to post in the link. I'm working on your problem in this live stream. It's funny, I've been a tutor for a while now, and I didn't know, someone told me that recently that there's a stigma about tutoring where like people think you're dumb if you're getting tutoring, which I find just really counterintuitive. I always thought that people who got tutoring were like rich. And that was like a really privileged thing. But apparently that's not what people think about it. So really fascinating. Okay. Y'all getting free tutoring. Enjoy it. Okay, here we go. What does this say? This says the perimeter of a triangle of the triangle shown is 20 inches. Okay. Write an expression for the perimeter, then write an equation that you can use to find the length of each side. Okay, so it looks like the perimeter is 20. Let's remind ourselves, what is a perimeter? The perimeter is the length of the outside. It's like the length from here to here plus the length from here to here plus the length from here to here. So anything that is enclosed, right, it's totally enclosed, can have a perimeter. It's the length of the outside. So you'll hear this like, oh, we've breached the perimeter in action movies, right? They broke that like enclosure that encloses their facility. So in this case, we know that the perimeter is equal to 20 inches, right? And then we're given these expressions that are the lengths of each side. So x minus 4 here is the length of this side, and x plus 1 is the length of this side, and 1/4 x plus 5 is the length of this side. Now, we don't know what those mean, okay? But we can figure out what each of these side lengths are by making an expression. Now, we know that the perimeter is 20, okay? But the perimeter is equal to the sum of the sides' lengths, right? So we have all these little expressions here that tell us the length of the side, okay? So we just need to add those up. The sum means add them up. So x minus 4 plus x plus 1 plus 1/4 x plus 5. Now this is actually given to you here, right? And they even go through the trouble of adding this all up for you. I'm going to add it up again. So I see with all of here, I have a plus and a plus. And so I can use the associative property. Okay, this is a fascinating property to simplify this a little bit. So I'm just going to get rid of those parentheses. X minus 4 plus x plus 1. Oops. Plus 1. Okay, plus 1/4 x plus 5. Now I can join my like terms. I can combine my like terms here. So -4, all right, it's just a constant number. I have a 1 and I have a 5. So 5 minus 4 is 1, plus 1 is 2. So I know I've got a 2 there. I'm just gonna, let's write down our 2. Just copy down our 20. All right, then x plus x is 2x. And then we got to add another x. So I'm going to do a little aside. This is an aside. X plus x plus 1/4 x. Now we need to remember how to add fractions. I need a common denominator. All right, and if anyone that watches this needs a video on adding fractions, please let me know. I can make a good video. This is clearly 2x. This is 2x. X plus x is 2x. Then we've got 1/4 x here. We're probably getting into that picture in picture. Let me just move this all up. Sorry if you're watching and it's getting slow. All right, here we go. Move those guys to the tippy top. We're done with you. Be gone. Okay, so x plus x is 2x, and then we need to still add this 1/4 x. So I need a common denominator. I'm going to multiply this term here by the number 1, but I'm going to choose the number 1 so that it looks like it's similar to this. I need a denominator of 4. Now 4 divided by 4 is 1. And I can always multiply by 1. No matter what, I can multiply any number by 1 and it will not change that number. Now this is just a way to write 1. I can write that no matter what. 4 divided by 4 is 1, so I'm just multiplying by 1 here. It's going to change the way it looks, but it's not going to change the actual quantity. Okay? And this is understood to be over 1. Now how do we multiply fractions? We multiply across. So this becomes 8 over 4x plus 1 over 4x. Now suddenly we can add these together, okay? 8/4 plus 1/4 is 9/4 x. All right, so this is the sum of this term, and this term. Now you don't have to do it as an aside over here. You can just do it in one step. But I wanted to make sure that everyone who may or may not watch understands what's going on here. Okay, so we are going to add that 9/4 x that we just did. 9/4 x. Okay, and you actually see that this is what they wrote up here. Okay, they put it the other way. We can write it that way using which property? Not associative, right? If you put it in the comments, I'll give you a free hour of tutoring. Free hour of private tutoring if you put it in the comments. Nobody. Crickets. There's only one person. So that's the commutative property. Okay, so now the very last thing, all right, I guess this is the second step of the two-step thing, is we need to figure out what x is, okay? So let's say 9/4 x plus 2 equals 20. And I'm just flipping that equality back and forth however I want to. That's because equality is symmetric. Okay, so you can do it backwards and forwards, right? So I'm going to subtract 2 from each side. And 20 minus 2 is 18. Okay. Then we've got, oops, this is a 4. So 9/4 x equals 18. Now I'm going to multiply both sides by 4, divide both sides by 9. Or you can think of it this way. Okay, this will cancel and this will cancel. I got to do it to both sides. All right. So x equals 18 times 4 divided by 9. Now this has a factor of 2 times 9. All right, these are factors 2 and 9. This can cancel with this, and I'm left with 2 times 4, which is 8. Okay, so x equals 8. Now if we want, we can go back and figure out 8 minus 4 is 4, so this little side here is 4, and 8 times 1/4 is 2, plus 5 is 7, so this side is 7, and then 8 plus 1 is 9. Okay, and if you add all those up, that equals 20, which is a good check because we were supposed to equal 20 for the perimeter. All right, and the last thing here, in the example, explain how the term 9/4 x was obtained in the expression for the perimeter. So I think my little aside, the thing that I did over here where I was adding those fractions, that's the answer to that question. All right. So if you watched to the end and you didn't need it, I'm sorry. Hopefully this was helpful. But you know, if this is your question and you have joined us, please leave a comment if this is not clear. I can come back to this problem. This is a good little problem. I like algebra. I haven't done many algebra problems lately. But yeah, so essentially we combined like terms. You could say we combined like terms after reassociating, and x plus 1/4 x equals 8 over 4x plus 1/4 x, which equals 9/4 x. Okay, so this is a good answer. I would do something like this. And if you get stuck on these things, man, it is so difficult, but also really good for you to go there and just like rack your brain and try to make that thing be equal to 9/4 x. When you do that, that's when you struggle and you just like take as much determination as you can muster and get it done. Maybe you don't get it in one sitting, you leave it after a few minutes and come, think 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there while you're doing other things. You're gonna be a much better math student for that. And it's rewarding to just like finally struggle and succeed. So keep up the good work. I hope I answered your question. Oh, hey, Chips. All right, Chips. Shout out. Good question, Chips. Oh no, hey, thank you for coming. Better late than never. I'm glad. Was it helpful? Did you get what you? I'm looking. I have my cell phone. I should be looking at you. Was it helpful? I don't know if you're current right now. You still might be delayed. Yeah, if you ever have any questions, go to my subreddit. Just check my post history and on Reddit, and you'll find. I just created this subreddit like yesterday or the day before. Post questions there. Can you skim through it real fast? Okay, so I can, yes. I would say I'm going to skip to the part that matters for answering your question. They give you an expression. I believe it was x. So we got. Let me put it back actually. It was x minus 4 plus x plus 1 plus 1/4 x plus 5. Okay. And, okay. So anybody who comes back, Chips included, if you miss the initial thing, you can always go back to the recording later. As soon as I finish the live stream, it'll post. So don't worry too much. You'll get to see the full thing, but I will give you this last part just because you missed it, and I'm sure you have this due tonight. Don't want to keep you up too late. Okay, so we have the associative property, right? Since these are all additions here, I can just take these parentheses away, okay? And if you want a video on the associative property, commutative property, any of those beautiful properties that you thought you had to memorize, but you really don't have to memorize them, please hit me up about that. Make some noise on Reddit and YouTube, and I'll make you a thing. Okay, so we took the parentheses away. Now all I've got to do is combine the like terms. So let's get rid of these constants. Let's combine those and declutter this a little bit. All of those guys are just numbers. They're constants. There's no variable. Okay, so I can combine them. Now, -4 plus 5 is the same as 5 minus 4. So that's 1. Okay, 5 minus 4 is 1. And then I got to add this 1, so that's 2. Okay, so here's a 2. Now I need to combine these terms here. Those are all in terms of x. Okay, so x plus x is 2x. And then I've got to add this 1/4 x. All right. Now, this is like a chain of equalities. All three of these lines are equal to each other. They're the same thing. But I need to add this thing. Their question is, how did I add this? Now, this is really a question of how do you add fractions. 2x, let's do a little aside. I'll do it over here. 2x is equal to 8x over 4. 8 times 4 is 2, or 8 divided by 4 is 2, right? So these are actually equal quantities. So I can just write that here. 8/4 x plus 1/4 x. Now this is something I can add together. Okay, I can clearly see that this is something I can add. This is 9/4 x, and that's where that came from. And I showed it a little bit differently the first time. The first time what I said was 2x plus 1/4 x, and I showed you that I'm going to multiply by 1 here, okay? But I'm going to choose a one that helps me to make these like similar, all right? And we called this a greatest common denominator, okay? I need this denominator over here. So I'm going to choose a representation of 1, which is 4 divided by 4, and I'm going to multiply that here, okay? 4 divided by 4 is 1, so I can always multiply that. It doesn't change this, it's just going to change how it looks. So when we multiply across, we're going to get 8x over 4 plus 1/4 x, okay? That's what we did to get to here. And you just add the numerators for fractions. This trick right here is really cool. I can make a longer video on that if anybody is wanting to see it, so just let me know. And that should answer your question, Chips. You got it? You fall asleep. I don't know. I think there's a little bit of delay. Well, maybe I'm still talking in the video. I do that a lot. I'm sorry for all the talking. Boom, 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 boom. Man, that's a great username, Chips. That is a great username. I know you're probably too young because you're studying algebra, but there was a great television show called Chips, which followed 2 highway patrolmen in California on motorcycles. Great television show. So watch that. All right, you're very welcome. Rest easy. Your homework is hopefully done. If you have any other questions, screenshot them, post them in my subreddit. I'll get to them as soon as I can. Hopefully this thing will I'll become YouTube famous, and this could just be my job to do math homework all day. That'd be great. Oh man, I would just love that. All right. So we're gonna find another one. Thank you, Chips. Stick around. Okay, where are we at? Where are we at? If you just joined us and I did your problem already, when the live stream ends, right, just go back and watch it from the beginning, okay? It's in there somewhere. All right, how do I find a measurement of, let's see what this is. I like geometry. I think geometry is fun. Okay, so nobody has answered this yet. So VWXY is a rhombus. Find each measure. All right. Thank you, Chips. Okay, where are we gonna go here? So I need to just make sure I'm not assuming something. Okay, yeah. So rhombus has equal sides opposite. Or actually, I think it has all 4 equal sides, but the opposite sides are parallel, okay? So, let me, a couple little housekeeping things. Let me get this person who's getting their question answered anonymous. All right, no. And, okay, so we lost somebody. That was probably Chips leaving. I don't know who the current person is that's with us. Make some noise in there. Talk. Say some things. And we're going to insert this. Okay, here we go. Okay. So since this is a rhombus, we know that this side is parallel to this side, and this side is parallel to this side. Okay, I'm going to erase that because I need this 6m minus 12, but these two sides are parallel. Let's write it small. And we need to find xy, we need to find yvw, yvw, and we need to find xyz. X, Y, Z. Okay. So let's just start finding angles. These angles here are vertical angles, so they are equal. Okay, so that means that this is also 3n squared minus, man, what does that say? Minus 0.75 degrees. We know, okay, so let's start with this. 6m minus 12 equals 4m plus 4. Because it's a rhombus, it has 4 equal sides, okay? So we can subtract 4m from both sides and add 12 to both sides, and we'll get 2m equals 16, all right? If you need those steps and you're watching this, let me know. Let me know if you need more algebra steps. So then we divide both sides by 2, and we get m equals 8. So here m equals 8, so 8 times 6 is 48. Minus 12 is 38, 36, so this is 36. Oh, you already have that. Okay, so all the sides are 36, okay? All of our sides are 36. Now, we know that these are equal, and we know that, let's see, what else can we determine here? These are parallel, it's cut by a transversal. We know that this is equal to this. Well, so the interior angles of the rhombus are all equal to 360. So I can say, so this angle is the same as this angle is the same as this angle. Oh, no, wait. This angle, this one, and this one. So parallels, these two are the same. And then that means that these two are the same. And then these two are the same. Let's see, how can I make this? So 180 minus this 3n squared minus 0.75 degrees is the measure of this angle here with the z in it. Huh. I know there's a way to solve this. If you're watching, this may take a minute. Oh, there it is. Is that right? Draw this a little bigger. Sorry if you're watching this. This is one of my. I thought this was going to be quick and easy, but it is not. Okay, here's a rhombus. It's not quite rhombusy. This is a better rhombus. And then we're going to make this angle and we're going to make okay, so this is parallel to this, and this is parallel to this. All the sides are equal. That means, oh, we have some similar triangles. That should help us. Okay, this angle is equal to this angle, and then this angle is equal to this angle, and this angle plus this angle equals this angle here. Okay, that doesn't really help us. But we should have some similar. Oh, here we go. No? I don't think there's enough given here. I don't know. I'm going to drop this. Whoever's looking at this, I'm going to let this one go. I just, like, so it has to be equal to 360. Man, I really don't want to give up on this one. I feel really bad for anybody who's watching right now. I know it's going to be something like is supplementary to the same thing. So this plus this. See, you need one more angle. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this doesn't work. Okay, let's think about this. This is alpha, alpha, beta, which means this is beta. So 180 minus, I'm like pretty certain that you can't solve this. These angles must be equal. Why are they equal though? So this has to be also alpha. That must be the trick, but I just don't see why. Well, so this has to be equal to this, and this has to be equal to this, because it's a bisector. That's why. So you get, yeah, okay, there we go. Does that solve it though? I still don't actually think so. Nope. Well, let's try it this way. So in my little notation that I put there, we have 4 beta plus 4 alpha equals 360. And then we've got beta plus alpha plus gamma equals 180. So this is 4 times 9n plus 4 plus 4 times Oh, we don't have alpha. Okay, so we can't use that. Let's try the other one. So we can get 9n plus 4 plus, nope. Oh, maybe. Let's see. Okay, we can solve both of these for alpha. So we will get alpha equal to 360 minus 4 beta over 4, which equals, what is this, 90 minus beta. And then we can plug that into here. So this would be beta plus 90 minus beta plus gamma equals 180. Okay, I think that's it. So this beta minus beta is 0, 90 plus gamma, so we can subtract 90 from both sides, and we get gamma equals 90. And then we plug in our expression 3n squared minus 0.75 equals 90. Add 90 to both sides, we get 3n squared minus 89.25 equals 0. And then we can, geez, I don't want to bring out a calculator. So n squared equals, what is this, 2, 9, 0.75. Oh, and this is a minus equals 0, and then so n equals plus or minus, but we'll just take the positive square root of 29.75. And that's calculator work. I don't do square roots in my head. I don't have a trick for that. So then you take this and plug it back into your thing. I don't know if this person is still riding with us, but whoa, that was a really bad one. Then you can figure out the rest of the angles. I guess I'll do it. Let's do it. Let me get my little calculator. Hold on. Okay, that was a rough problem. I did not see it. I was pretty sure that it should work that way, but let me just check my division there too. 89.25 divided by 3. Hey, look at me. I can divide stuff. Okay, so it's 5.45 something. So n is approximately 5.45. 3 times 29.75 minus 0.75 equals 329. Oh, that doesn't make sense. Nope, I made a mistake somewhere. Oh, I just entered it wrong. Okay, 88.5 degrees. Yikes. So what angle is that? YVW? No, it's not YVW. Is it VYX? 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 It is not VYX. Is it XYZ? XYZ. This angle is not that angle. Okay, well, we still need it. This is 88.5 here. All right, which means this is 88.5. And so this must be 180 minus 88.5, which is 91.5. Okay, so this is 91.5. And then we can do 9 times the square root of 29.75 plus 4, which is 53 something. So that makes this 53 something. And then let's add 95 to that and subtract that from 180. And that'll give us 31.9, which is ZYX, VYX. Okay, so times 2 gives us that. All right. I'm going to do it to 3 degrees. I hate these approximation problems. X, Y, Z. So that is our 31.9. And then Y, this times 2. 106.2. Well, it's just, let's call it that. All right. There's 2 plus 120. I don't know, I actually don't feel good about this answer. I think I totally flopped this one, so man, I really don't like not being able to do problems. I guess it's good to see me mess up, though, if anybody did see this. Yeah. So, we already did that. No, I made a wrong assumption before. Had to. I don't know if this is possible. I really don't think it is. Oh, there you go. It's side, side, side. They're all equal. So that means, yeah, okay, so I was right. So let's give it a naming scheme again. So this is alpha, beta, beta, alpha, alpha, beta, beta. No, we're not given alpha, so we need to make an expression without it. Well, I could just solve for it. I think I called this gamma before. So alpha plus beta plus gamma equals 180. So I can solve for alpha. So alpha equals 180 minus beta minus gamma. And then for okay, so 4 alpha plus 4 beta equals 360. So alpha equals 360 minus 4 beta over 4, which equals 90 minus beta. So then we can say 90 minus beta, those two are equal, equals 180 minus beta minus gamma. And those are gone. So gamma equals 90. Implies that 3n squared minus 0.75 equals 90. So 3n squared minus... Oh! I just did the math wrong. Oh! Okay. So this is... Alright, and then so... There we go. That's a much better... Man. Okay, 5.5. So this angle equals... degrees. Oh, it's a square. Crazy. It's a square. Yeah. So this is 45. 45. Yeah, it's a square. So let me see. It's a square. All right. Yeah. Who is this? Myra is tired. Yeah. I apologize for that. I guess it's real, you know, like I've done a lot of these and I still find that to be challenging. I really had to like convince myself that these were equal. These angles were equal, and then once I remembered, like, oh, this is bisecting, it must be equal. Um, then I was cool with it. But yeah, there you go. So hopefully that helped. That was probably exhausting. I should just let me edit this again. Okay. Word. All right. I'm signing off. I'm tired. I've been tutoring since 9 a.m. So y'all keep it real. And please post, subscribe, all that stuff, and give me feedback. Let me know, you know, what you want, what you don't want, and we'll see if we can make this thing fun for everyone.